You know, you walk into just about any gym these days and you kind of see two different worlds living side by side. Over here, you've got the methodical, super focused world of traditional lifting. Bicep curls, leg extensions, the classic bench press. And then on the other side, you've got what can look like, well, organized chaos. Kettlebell swings, massive sled pushes, people jumping on boxes. Welcome to the world of functional fitness.
And man, this question, it sparks endless debates online and in gyms all over the world. Are you on team traditional or team functional? Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise. All right, let's dive in and see what the science actually has to say about both of these really powerful ways to train.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to get a really solid definition of what functional fitness even is. Then, we'll see how it stacks up against traditional training in a head-to-head scientific study. We'll take a look at a crazy real-world test called HYROX, tackle the super important topic of injury risk, and then, and this is the good part, we'll show you how to build a program that takes the best of both worlds.
All right, first things first. This term, functional fitness, gets thrown around all the time. But what does it actually mean? It's not just about flipping huge tires and swinging ropes, you know? At its heart, it's about training with a very clear purpose.
Okay, so this is the official consensus definition from a whole panel of experts, and it's awesome because of two key phrases. First, enhancement of human performance, that just means it's about getting better at stuff. But the second part, according to individual goals, that's the absolute most important piece. It means functional is totally relative. It all depends on the goal, whether that's winning a gold medal or just being able to carry all your groceries inside in one trip.
At its core, functional training is built around these 6 basic patterns. These are the fundamental ways our bodies are built to move. They're what we call compound movements, which just means they use multiple joints and a bunch of muscle groups all at once, just like we do in real life. A squat? That's just getting up out of a chair. A hinge? That's how you pick something heavy off the floor without hurting your back. And a carry is, well, it's carrying stuff. It's literally training for life.
And this, right here, is such a great way to think about it. We really shouldn't be thinking of this as functional versus non-functional. It's not a war. It's much better to see every single exercise on a spectrum, a continuum of functionality. So a bicep curl might not seem very functional for a soccer player, but for a bodybuilder who wants bigger arms, it's highly functional. It's all about the context.
Okay, so now that we have that framework in mind, let's see what happens when you actually put these ideas to the test. A 2020 study did exactly that, directly comparing a high-intensity functional training program, we'll just call it HIFT, with a standard traditional resistance training program.
So here's how they set it up. 2 totally different philosophies. The HIFT group focused on work capacity. That means doing as much work as possible in a certain amount of time with lots of variety, whole body workouts, and very little rest. The traditional group? They did the classic progressive overload with structured rest times, splitting their workouts between upper and lower body using both big compound lifts and isolation exercises.
So what happened? Well, the results are super interesting. The single most important takeaway, both groups got a lot stronger. Significantly stronger. There was no winner when it came to just building raw strength. But the kind of fitness they built was different. The functional group got way better at endurance, improving their aerobic power. But here's a weird twist. Their short burst explosive power actually went down a little bit, which the researchers think was just due to fatigue from the constant go, go, go workouts. It's a perfect example of specificity. You get good at what you train for.
You want to see this principle in action? Let's look at a super popular real-world example, the fitness race called HYROX. It is the perfect case study for functional fitness pushed to the absolute limit.
A HYROX event is an absolute monster. An athlete has to run a full kilometer, then they hit a functional workout station, and then they repeat that whole cycle 8 times. And the stations use all those foundational movements we just talked about. Pushing, pulling, carrying, lunging. It's just a brutal, brutal test of your all-around fitness. And just how hard is it? When I say hard, I mean, look at this. This chart from a recent study is just staggering. Athletes spend almost 80% of the entire event in the very hard heart rate zone. That's between 90 and 100% of their max heart rate. There is basically 0 time spent chilling in the moderate or light zones. It is an all-out, red-line effort from start to finish. And here it is. This is the key insight from that whole study. When the researchers looked at what actually predicted a faster finish time, it wasn't how much someone could deadlift or squat. The single biggest factor was a high VO2 max.
You can think of your VO2 max as the size of your body's engine. It's the max amount of oxygen you can use when you're going all out. So this proves that even though HYROX looks like a strength competition, at its heart, it is an endurance event.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Whenever we talk about high-intensity functional training, the conversation always turns to injury risk. Is it more dangerous? And on the flip side, do all these benefits actually transfer over into our everyday lives? Well, let's actually look at the data. Research on CrossFit, which is a really popular type of HIIT, found an injury rate of about 2 to 3 injuries for every 1,000 hours of training. Now, to put that into perspective, studies on just recreational running show injury rates that can be way higher than that. This doesn't mean functional training is perfectly safe, of course, but it does challenge that common idea that it's uniquely dangerous. Puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
But you know what? At the end of the day, arguing about which style is safer kind of misses the whole point. The thing that truly matters is smart programming, listening to your body, and always prioritizing excellent technique over just raw intensity. Good coaching and good form are the ultimate keys to staying safe no matter what kind of program you're on. And this right here is where the benefits of functional fitness really shine. The skills you build in the gym translate directly. For tactical populations like firefighters and soldiers, it builds the specific kind of strength they need for their incredibly demanding jobs. For older adults, it's crucial for maintaining independence and quality of life. And for the rest of us, these movement patterns are just life itself.
Okay, so we've established that both traditional and functional training are super effective, right? Neither one is just flat out better. So the next logical question is, can you combine them? And should you? And the answer is a huge, resounding yes.
The science on this stuff, it's called concurrent training, actually gives us a pretty clear roadmap. First, you have to prioritize. You just can't be world-class at everything at the same time, so decide what's most important to you right now. Second, balance how often you train to match that goal. So if getting stronger is your top priority, you should probably be lifting more often than you do cardio, maybe a 3-to-1 ratio. And third, be smart about your cardio. Things like high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, can boost your endurance in less time and are way less likely to get in the way of your strength gains.
And honestly, this is the single most important question you need to ask yourself. What are you training for? Is it maximal muscle growth, where, yeah, traditional isolation work is incredibly valuable? Are you trying to hit a new 1-rep max? Or is your goal just to have great all-around fitness and health, where a mix of everything might be absolutely perfect? Your goal is what dictates the method.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's kind of zoom out and pull all the most important takeaways from this whole deep dive together.
Here's the bottom line. This whole idea of a war between functional and traditional training, it's just a myth. The science is totally clear. Both approaches build strength really effectively. What really matters is that principle of specificity. You get what you train for. And remember to think of every single exercise on that continuum of functionality, based on what you need. So, from now on, instead of asking if an exercise is functional, let's leave you with a much more powerful question. Ask yourself, how functional is this for me, for my goals? Whether it's a sled push or a bicep curl, the answer to that question is what will truly lead you to the best possible training program for your life.